Hello, and welcome to another edition of Extraordinary Connection. My name is Pastor Kayla Rose, and I serve Freeland United Methodist Church in the Central Bay District. It's good to be back with you. It's been probably close to a month since I posted my last video with this group of wonderful clergy colleagues who have been understanding and gracious in the midst of trying to find some time to unplug and disengage from the rhythms of ministry so that I could be present with my family and take some time to rest. We all need that time to rest and get away and reconnect with God in our call and our families, especially. The first week of vacation, for what vacation I had a couple weeks ago, was spent waiting to hear about news from my father who had a scheduled surgery. The good news is he is good and recovering now, and that day was a little scary at times waiting it out, and the week was a little challenging at times while we waited for him to come home and get settled. But I was able to have some time that week with my mom and my dad and my niece and my nephew who are in the Kalamazoo area, who started their new adventure of digital learning. And what a challenge that is for all of you who are facing that similar challenge. And I want you to know that you're in my prayers and you're in my thoughts as I watch my brother and sister-in-law navigate that first week and overcome the days of tears and frustrations from everyone in the house. The feelings are real in this time that we're in. And even in the midst of the crazy roller coaster of emotions that I felt with my mom as we waited for the news on dad that day for surgery, I find myself thinking about the ways in which God was present. It was a beautiful week. I got to spend time snuggling with their 60-pound German short hair pointer who's convinced she's still a lap dog at her 60-pound weight. And she likes to cuddle, and she knew something was off because my dad wasn't there. And that cuddling reminds me of God's presence, and she's just got such a personality in that puppy heart of hers. And God's presence was experienced outdoors playing with my niece and nephew on their lunch break when I took them lunch to hang out for a couple of hours while we waited to hear the news, while we got a break to wiggle and giggle and do hopscotch and play all sorts of fun games in the yard before they went back to digital learning that day. God is in the still, small, little things that we overlook sometimes. The rustling of the wind in the leaves, the smell of the crisp fall autumn air, the beautiful sun, the birds chirping on the porch in my parents' backyard, watching a deer, a fawn, and its mother walk ever so gently across the backyard. Listening to the crickets, nature, and all of the things that God creates around us, that so often, because we get so hustled in our lives, so busy in our lives, that we don't stop and take a moment to enjoy them. Today's scripture I wanted to draw your attention to is one that occurred to me in my lectionary readings, the plan that I follow for my daily devotionals that Monday of my dad's surgery. That Monday, the first day that I had vacation and the 2 weeks that I had off. The scripture came from Jacob's ladder found in Genesis 28, and the specific verse that I keep coming back to. I'm drawing back to it over and over again in the last few weeks. It says this, and starting at verse 16. It is verse 16. When Jacob woke from his sleep, he thought to himself, "The Lord is definitely in this place, but I didn't know it." The Lord is definitely in this place, but I didn't know it. I think about the ways in which we have been experiencing worship in ways that we never thought that we would have. And I want you to think about the ways that even in those difficult places, unexpected places, that you still have experienced God, because even when we don't pay attention to it, God is present among us. Our task, our challenge each day as busy Americans, as busy people, is to stop and open ourselves up to God's presence so that God can show us how marvelous, how magnificently wonderful God is at creating beauty around us, at walking with us through difficult life events, at giving us care and comfort, peace, and hope through new life that pops up all around us. Friends, I want to challenge you today to remember the statement as you go about your day today. Be drawn back to the words, "The Lord is definitely in this place, but I didn't know it." And I challenge you to draw your attention to it so that you can welcome God's presence and bask in that presence this day. See you next time, friends.